Hey everybody, Captain Murphy here. We're going to go over the, I'd say current build, but it's actually not the absolute current. It's the current release that we've got out right now of Tides of War. It is the last one that I made in about mid-December, probably around the 16th, 17th, around there, last one that I've put out. And I'm going to go ahead and play a kind of a quick battle, just to show some of the changes, maybe highlight some of the mechanics changes, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and click play, and I'm going to create as a new server. I'll even register it and allow it to be open just in case we get someone that happens to join while we're playing around here. So there's been a lot of changes since the last couple of videos. I've been really holding off on doing the videos just because it's a lot more development work has been going into it. Let me go ahead and, yeah, I guess I will leave it around noon. The first major change is that we've got a new sky system. It's the same system, but it's been heavily revamped. It's got volumetric clouds and a lot more clean horizons, things like that. Looks really good. Let me go ahead and crank up the wind speed, that way we can get everyone moving quicker. Leave the gusts up high. We're going to bring the age up, that way the waves are a little less sharp. Okay, and no precipitation. Alright, so I'm going to just create a bunch of English, and I'll make some Spanish. They're already beating the crap out of each other. Let me add another couple English, and I'll make one more Spain, and I'll jump in as a Spanish ship. Alright, so one of the first things that is pretty noticeable since the last videos that I've done is that we're running the brig now instead of the little ketch. And this is actually our very, very, very low detail model. This is the one that we sell on the asset store. It's running about 9,500 tries. It's not exactly the most detailed model in the world. We're running as a test to see exactly how low we really can go and kind of get away with it. We're really, like I say, this is a test to see what we could do. But the model works out quite well. It is extremely fast, so we're not having to worry about performance at all with the low detail model in here. And it was kind of fun just to play around with. Plus it gives you a whole lot more guns. So if you notice on this versus the ketch, we've got 10 on each board. We've got 2 bow and 2 stern. And every gun on this is a 6-pounder, whereas on the ketch you had a set of 6-pounders on just the bow, and then both sides were 4s. Because of the size of the ketch, it was a little more difficult to hit each other, whereas now with these larger brigs you get a lot more hits on target. So the other thing that kind of increases the number of hits on target is that the AI, I shouldn't say the AI, there's actually a formula being used to determine the direction the ball travels when it's fired. And what we've done is we've got a kind of a calculation that gets done that determines the ship's angle and the angle that the AI really wanted to fire it at. So this bar over here on the side where you determine your angle of the guns is actually your desired final angle, not just the angle of the guns now. So your AI will essentially try to get the guns to fire at the correct angle now, which means you have a lot more accurate shots. So if you take a shot at an enemy, it will more accurately follow that correct angle now instead of kind of going wild. Okay, well it looks like we've got a whole bunch of English ships are already pretty much toasted. Ooh, that was a pretty close hit there. Let me go ahead and try to hit this guy. A little high, but not too bad. You can see by the on-deck view, these are very low poly items. These are kind of a, like I said, it's all a test. We were just kind of playing around to see what we could get away with, but we wanted to get a brig into here before too long. Alright, So another thing you can see on here is we've got some damage that will display. I'm actually trying to get this guy to hit me so I can start displaying some damage here. Let me go ahead and spawn in a few more English. There we go. Now we got some English going. So now I should start taking some damage a lot faster. So with the damage system, we are now displaying approximately where the ball hit. So just right there, by raking the stern on that English ship, you can see that we actually have actual ball damage decal displaying on the texture. The neat thing about this is that each one is individualized, so that when the ships are drawn in, they're actually painted. They're not just rendering a pre-made texture. So they can pick certain pieces of the texture and then they can paint them. And what that allows us to do is, in the later builds, to allow players to actually paint their ships. So they'll be able to pick that they want, you know, this section here to be some color within their basic nation's possible color groups, and they'll be able to add in some, you know, fancier edges to the stern galleries. You'll be able to modify sails. Like, there's a lot of things we're going to be allowing people to make changes to. And here you can see that the damage being applied to that Spanish ship there. Ooh, take a couple of hits there. As you can see how that decal gets drawn, though. They actually get drawn based on the damage that gets applied. So if you notice that some of these are holes and some of those are just like dents. The dents are ones that were armor hits only. The ones that are holes are actually penetration. So they actually went through and actually caused hull damage. So, and because the hull damage actually gets applied based on penetration energy and things like that, so you can see we just took a massive broadside right there. So we also increased some of the damage amounts. Wow, I'm getting tore up. So we increased the damage amounts, and you'll take a lot more damage in the time. And again, it also is very much increased because the ships are able to adjust their fire elevation and get more accurate shots in. Oh, wow, they really just tore me up. Anyway, that's just the kind of a quick overview. I really don't want to get into every single thing that's changed because a lot of stuff has changed on the back end, and it's kind of hard to name off all the multitudes of things that have changed since the last major video went out. So anyway, hop on, jump into a game. The multiplayer is actually functioning again. It had been goofy for a while, and we weren't quite sure why. It turned out to be something with the Unity system was causing problems. But that's all worked out now, and we've got multiplayer working again. We've increased the options quite a bit, so when you're looking at the options, we've increased this quite a bit, so you can now really tailor the system to match your computer's performance, and you can even make it kind of look like a different style of game. Like, you can increase, you can have you know, different color corrections, you can increase and decrease exposures, so you can really kind of play around with it. It doesn't make any major difference to the gameplay, but it does allow you to tweak the game to look like, you know, you want it to look. And you can also get to the ocean performance and adjust how the ocean works, which is a major boost to performance that we've noticed. Otherwise, just having the small changes that we had allowed was just was not enough. That was an issue in the past. So now you can really tweak the settings, though. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it, and hop on, grab a copy of the 0.3 from itch.io, and hope to see you guys out in the field.